Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate you coming for today's class. We'll go ahead and get started by coming into a comfortable seated position, either on the ground or in your chair. Now you're welcome to bring a prop like a block or a pillow under your hips, or if you would like, you can sit crisscross applesauce. You could have your legs out. You could even have a bend to the knees. If you're sitting on the floor, you could bring your back up against a wall, or even the back of your chair if you're seated in your chair. We'll settle in here and we'll really start to allow ourselves to come into a relaxation moment with intention. Maybe we close our eyes, we simply soften the gaze and let the eyes blur over. And then we'll start to lengthen the breath, intentionally letting it become a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, and more intentional. We will start to fill our lungs with each breath. And with each exhale, allow the body to soften a little bit. We'll take in another breath in, and then hold at the top for just a pause. And now release. And I'd like for you to begin to imagine the bright autumn sun above your head. Maybe you're sitting close to a window and you can actually feel it starting to come out today. Or maybe you're just imagining it in your mind. But it's warm, fall, yellow light starts to extend down, the rays touching the top of your head, bringing a little bit of warmth. And as you sit here and breathe, see if you can give permission for this light to move over your body, warming it little by little as it goes. Continuing to breathe in as the sunlight passes from the top of your head over your forehead and eyes, illuminating your cheeks, feeling your jaw, flowing past your neck, and breaking up any tension there as it continues on. Working down your shoulders and dividing as it continues down each arm, hands, and fingertips. Warming, relaxing the muscles as you go. The sunlight continues to radiate this autumn warmth as it works its way towards your heart and torso, wrapping it in a hug. And with your out breath, that warmth radiates lovingly past your heart into your abdomen, untangling any knots, fears, doubts, worries, and continuing to move further down to your hips, and the base of your spine, and then flowing down your thighs and the kneecaps, and even over your calves and down to your feet. your whole body warmed by the fall sun above. And as you breathe here, a glow with nourishing light. You simply continue to breathe in and breathe out. Danger and opportunity. As a young adult, I was an avid motorcycle rider. I remember my parents would always hold their breath whenever I jumped on the back because they had heard the horror stories of motorcycle riding injuries. I think the element of danger is what intrigued me about this activity. The adrenaline rush felt exciting, even though I knew that I could get hurt or even die in an instant. Now I thank motorcycle riding because it reminded me not to live in fear. There is always danger in life, but there is also always opportunity. We just have to know what to look for. So as we breathe a few more breaths here, try to bring to mind something that excites you, but also scares you. As you breathe, see if you can allow both feelings to be there, because both are welcome. We'll begin to let go of that meditation as we start to come into our breathing exercise for today. But this breathing exercise is called the breath of fire. It's a short staccato breath where we have a forceful inhale through our nose and a forceful exhale through the nose. And the inhale happens naturally, passively. And also will create a little pumping action in your abdomen and navel. So we'll take an inhale in here just to fill the lungs. And then as you exhale, start with that short staccato, forceful exhale through the nose. Take it for about 5 to 6 rounds, and then take a few natural breaths. And then we'll take another 5 to 6 rounds of the breath of fire. Finding your natural breath once more. And our last 5 to 6 rounds of breath of fire for this opening meditation. Breathing in to let the lungs fill up. And then short staccato, forceful exhales through the nose. Great job. Find that natural breath one last time. And then take a moment to offer yourselves gratitude that you took time out of your busy day. Come and meet yourself here on the mat in movement, contemplation, and mindfulness. And as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Start to flutter the eyes open. And we'll come up into a seated position. Oh, well, I mean, we're already in a seated position, sorry. We'll start to add a little bit of movement into our practice. Alrighty, so let's start by taking a few torso circles here. So we'll start by rotating through our torso. We'll go in one direction a couple of times. Let yourself find a fluidity to the movement. Notice how those different areas that we just warmed by the autumn sun are feeling today. Now that we're adding just a little bit of movement into the practice. Okay, then let's come through center. We'll straighten up through the spine, letting the shoulders relax down. And then let's take a few cat-cows, pulling our heart forward, our gaze up, and then taking our exhale as we round it back. Take this at your own pace, really allowing yourself to notice how the spine is feeling today. And then come through center. We'll inhale to take those arms out wide and then let them float up either a little bit or a lot as we lengthen through the torso and then bring it down through a prayer at heart center. Noticing how that feels through the shoulders. Take that 2 more times on your own. Inhaling up, exhaling to bring it down. Last time, inhale up, full deep breath. Exhale, let it come down. Beautiful job. This next time we circle them up, and then as we exhale, we're going to let the hands rest on the shoulders, fingertips pointing down. Now, if this is feeling intense in your arms, you can also bring the hands to the hips and let the elbows point out to the sides. Alrighty, from here, let's go ahead and take a few elbow circles, letting them circle in one direction for a few rotations. And then let's reverse. All right, bring the elbows back out to the side, sit up tall through your inhale, and on your exhale, twist at the hips towards the right. Exhale back through center, and then twist to the left. Inhale back through center, let the arms float up. We're going to twist to the right again. This time, let the hands become involved. You can bring your hands inside that left leg or outside the right leg as you twist towards your right shoulder. Inhale back through center, maybe even look up. And then exhale, take it to the other side. Beautiful job. Inhale back through center, inhale, look up, and then exhale, we'll bring it down through heart center. And then let's take our legs out really wide. If you're on the floor, you could take them out lengthened. You can have a little bend in the knees. You can put props under the knees if you'd like. And if you're seated in your chair, we have a couple of options here for our wide-legged folks. You're always welcome to just bring the knees out with the feet still under the knees, as wide as feels good. Or if you'd like, you can add a little bend and straighten the legs a little bit, even letting them rest on the heels and pulling the toes back towards the shins. But make sure you're feeling steady and secure no matter which way you're choosing to take that. As we inhale, we're going to lift our arms up and overhead. And with an exhale, we're going to bring our hands down in front of us. If we're on the chair, maybe they're on our legs or our chair. And then we're going to start to hinge into a forward fold. You're also welcome to bring your hands onto a prop as you hinge forward here. Hold it just for a moment. Seeing if with each exhale, you can soften into the fold just a little bit more. Then with our next inhale, I want us to walk our hands back towards our hips, lengthening through the spine. And then we're going to take a little bit of a pulse into our forward fold. So you can keep your hands on your legs or you can bring them down towards your prop. But as we exhale, we're going to fold. And then as we inhale, we're going to slowly walk back up. Exhale, fold. And see if each time you take this slow pulse, you feel if you can go any deeper into the fold. Beautiful. All right, come back to your straight spine on your next inhale. And then we're going to turn towards our right leg and take an exhale as you rock towards that right leg. Adding a little bit of a side twist into that forward fold. And then inhale to come back through center, turn towards the left leg, and then hinge and forward fold towards that side. Now, just like that slow pulse we took through center, we're going to take one left to right. So take it at your own space. Lean to one side for a breath. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. Sometimes when we come in and out of a pose in this dynamic fashion, we find that it becomes less scary than it was the first time, or less frightening than the first time. We find that maybe our body remembers the shape a little bit better. We release into it a little bit smoother. Doing great. Last time. Great job. Come back through center. And then we'll come back into our easy seated position. So if you were on the chair, that's your mountain pose with your legs back in center. And if you're on the floor, maybe that's a crisscross applesauce or some other variation. If you took a crisscross applesauce at the beginning of class, make sure you switch up which leg is in front this time if you're coming back into it. We'll take those arms out wide to the side, let the palms face down. And we're going to come back to that breath of fire that we started in our breath practice for class at the beginning of class. So feel free to let your hands rest as I go over that breath one more time. Maybe paying attention to the screen so you can see what it looks like. So this breath of fire is a short staccato breath. We inhale one time lengthly, one long inhale to start. As we exhale, it's a short staccato exhale through the nose. And the next inhale will happen naturally because of how forceful that exhale is on the nose. So we'll take this for about 5-6 rounds of breath, and then take a few rounds of our natural breath. And then we'll switch it up and take it for a few more rounds of breath. So let's try it here before adding the arm movements in, just to get a feel for how the breath feels. So that deep inhale in, and then that short staccato exhale through the nose 5 or 6 times. Now you might feel like your stomach and abdomen is pulsing as you take this breath. That would feel pretty natural. And then if you're ready to try it, adding a little bit of arm movement, we'll take our arms out wide to the side, stretching those palms out. And then this time, as we take that short staccato breath, we're going to cross our arms in front of us, switching up which arm is on top and which is on bottom. Alrighty, so inhale, filling the lungs with air. Last time. Exhale to release your arms by your side. Beautiful breath of fire today. This breath really helps get our energy rising. It helps get our blood flowing, and it can build a little heat in our body. So it's a great one to do. All right, from here, let's go ahead and come back into that wide-legged pose. We're changing it up a little, going back and forth, getting our body used to one shape and then changing it up a little bit today. Their legs out wide. Let's go ahead and turn through the ankles and roll the feet a little left to right. And then maybe point and flex the toes a couple times, just getting a little movement through the ankles and the bottom of the feet. All right, go ahead and still point, flex through the ankles, and then I'll roll the feet out, noticing how it feels to open up through those hips a little bit. Great job. Now see if you can roll the toes in a little bit. Great job. Now let's roll them out again. And we'll roll them in again last time. All right, come back into your wide-legged position of choice. We'll inhale, circle the arms up, let them float up. And then with an exhale, I want us to start to hinge forward, but bring our arms back into an airplane arms. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. Let the palms come down, back by the hips as you hinge forward. Just a little bit, making sure not to fall out of your chair if you're in the chair. Great job. Inhale, come back up to tall mount or tall upper body. Arms rise, raising. And then exhale, airplane hinge. All right. We'll take this pulse a couple times on your own. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up. Great job. Last time, hinge it forward, hold it here for just a moment, really engaging through the core. You're doing a great job. Inhale, lift it up. All right, we're going to turn towards that right leg, and as we exhale, hinge it forward. You can bring your hands down this time if you'd like. Notice how that feels. And then as we inhale, we're going to come up to a straight spine, and we're going to twist over that leg a little deeper. Great job. Come back through center. Exhale, turn towards the left. Again, maybe you hinge forward over this leg one more time. Inhale to come up and then twist it over that leg a little deeper towards the left. Beautiful job. Our next exhale unwinds the spine. We come back through center, and then let's go ahead and come on up to a standing pose. We come into our mountain pose. We feel that length and extension, pressing firmly into both feet. Then let's inhale as we root to rise, lifting up, tall mountain. And then with an exhale, we'll float the hands down as we hinge into a forward fold. The hands can come to a prop or our own legs or the floor. We keep a generous bend in the knees. Maybe we sway a little side to side. Maybe we grab opposite elbows. And then allow yourself to pause, hands release to their previous location. We'll press into those hands to come in that figure 7. Gaze stays straight down. Beautiful job. Exhale to hinge and forward fold. The slow roll, we'll drop the hips and start to roll up to our standing pose. Once the shoulders and hands arrive by the hips, we stand tall. Beautiful job. Let's keep the right hand by the right hip and then circle that left hand up and over as we take the left hip over to the left side. Inhale to come back through center. Left hand on hip or even on a prop as we hinge to the left. Beautiful job. Come back through center. Inhale, both arms float up. Exhale, cactus the arms, pulling the heart forward, squeezing those shoulder blades back. Gaze comes up. Beautiful job. Inhale, tall mountain. And with an exhale, we're going to bring our hands through that prayer, finding that hinge into our forward fold once more. Once we reach that forward fold, we're going to pause there. We're going to inhale the halfway lift. We're going to bend through our right knee, leaving our right hand planted. And then let's circle that left hand out to the side and back. Beautiful job. Come back through center. Bend the left leg. Begin to circle the right hand out to the side and up. Exhale to release. And with an inhale, we'll take our slow roll last time, coming up to our mountain pose. Take a moment here, maybe wiggling the fingers, and simply notice how the body is feeling. We've been moving in lots of different directions already, a lot of different muscles engaged. Notice how you're feeling. Alrighty. Next, we're going to find a puppy pose. So you're welcome to come down onto a tabletop and come onto the floor for your puppy pose, or to take it from a standing position using a wall or a chair, or really anything. The goal here is to bring your elbows to about shoulder distance apart, and then they can lay flat on your prop or come into a triangle, letting your fingers interlace. As we exhale, we walk the hips back, allowing the head to fall in between the arms. Now, if you're using a wall or even your chair, you might rest your forehead on that prop. If you're using a chair, you may even want to add a blanket to it so that it feels a little more comfortable. You can also use the seat of a chair if you wanted to come down onto your knees, or another piece of furniture like this, but not all the way down to the ground can be a great option. Or if you're choosing the tabletop version, you're walking your knees back, your forehead can rest on the floor, or maybe you bring a block under the forehead to make that connection wherever you're at. From our puppy pose, we're noticing what's happening in our shoulders, in our armpits, down the sides of our body, or in our spine, maybe even in the neck. If your forehead is making contact with the surface, maybe you rock from side to side, giving your forehead a massage. Beautiful job. On our inhale, we'll start to release this pose, making our way into a downward facing dog. If you're taking tabletop, you're always welcome to take your downward dog right there on the floor if that's available for you. And if you're standing, your downward dog could be using any of your props, making sure if you're using a chair though, it is feeling nice and steady and secure. We bring our hands to hip distance. We walk our hips back. We create that V shape, no matter whether our hands are on the floor, on a chair, or on the wall. We allow the head to drip between the arms. Take a few pedals through the legs, shifting the weight as you do. And eventually we'll settle into stillness. And let's take through 5 breath of fires right here, breathing in fully and then exhaling with that short staccato exhale. A few more just like that. Finding your natural breath. And then we'll find ourselves walking into our mountain pose or our forward fold first. And then finding your way to your mountain pose. Alrighty, beautiful downward dog. Notice how the body's feeling. Is there any tingling, any sensations from all those breaths of fire? If they start to make you feel lightheaded, know that you can skip them at any point in time. It is not necessary. It's just doing things that can excite and feel a little dangerous today. Okay, so we're gonna take our legs a little wider than hip distance here. Maybe that feels like it is a short wide or a long wide, so it's up to you. Let your toes go out at first, heels go in. And then as we inhale, lift the arms up overhead and take a 5-pointed star. Alrighty, and then from here, we're gonna take a 1-legged squat. So you can bring your hands to your hips, you can bring it to a prop, you can just keep them on your legs, but we're gonna lean to one side. And then come back through center, and then we're gonna lean to the other side. Now, if you wanna go really deep, you're welcome to go all the way down. You can keep your hands on the floor or even on a prop. As you shift from side to side, taking this at your own pace here, left to right. So you can be shallow or deep. Make sure you're going slow though, not fast. We're not like powerhousing, rushing through this, trying to work up a sweat. What we're trying to do here is notice how those hips feel as we're opening them to one side and then to the other. Beautiful job. All right, go ahead and balance out. Make sure you do both sides equally. Come through center. And then we're going to change the orientation of our feet. So the toes are in line with the heels. And if we use a prop, we're going to make sure there's a prop in front of us for this next sequence. As we inhale, we let the arms rise maybe to a T or let them float overhead. And then as we exhale, we're going to hinge into a forward fold, bringing our hands maybe to that prop, the ground, or keeping them on our hips or legs. If you're feeling this strongly in the knees, always welcome to add a little gentle bend to the knees as you hinge into your forward fold here. With our next inhale, we're going to press into our hands coming into that halfway lift position. We're going to hold here. We're going to engage through the core. Beautiful job. Inhale, root to rise. We're going to take a little flow here between being in our 5-pointed star, being in a halfway lift, and being in a forward fold. So let's inhale to lift. Exhale, we're going to take those arms out wide like a T. We're going to come to our halfway lift point. We're going to pause there for just a breath. And then exhale, lower, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands rise back to T. Now with this next inhale, we're going to stay in our halfway lift, but we're going to let the hands run alongside the ears, pulling them forward. Beautiful job. And then with our exhale, we're going to take them back in our airplane arms, squeezing pinkies together by the hips. Beautiful job. Exhale to release, forward fold. Beautiful job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, halfway lift, airplane arms. Inhale, circle arms by the ears. And then root to rise, 5-pointed star. All right, last time. Exhale, hinge, fully fold. See if you can sink a little deeper into this fold. Halfway lift, airplane arms. Inhale, arms come alongside the ears. Exhale, 5-pointed star to release. Great job. Go ahead and step it back in to your to your mountain pose. All righty. From our mountain pose, we're going to step back into a lunge or a grounded lunge. So it's up to you. Take your left foot back and keep that back knee lifted, or you can bring it back down to the ground and put some cushioning underneath it, no matter where you're at. You can keep your hands on a prop in front of you. You can bring them to your hips. You can bring them to a prayer. Or maybe you start to send them up high into the air in your crescent lunge of choice. Beautiful. We're going to take this into a side bend. We can bring our right hand to our right hip, maybe to our prop if we have a prop nearby, or we can bring a prop like a block outside of our hip if we're on the floor. And then we're going to take it into a side bend, taking our left hand over towards the right. Great job. Inhale to come through center. And then let's take it into a twist. You can take one arm behind and one arm in front. Inhale back through center. Exhale, release your hands if they're lifted. And then we're going to find our way into the other side. So if you're taking this from the ground, you're welcome to go through a tabletop. And then just bring the other one forward. If you're taking this from standing, step that back foot in. And then step the other foot back. Wherever we're at, we're in our crescent lunge once more. We're sinking it in. We're feeling steady and strong. If you're feeling wobbly, widen your stance. Again, that back knee can be lifted or on the ground. And your hands can be supported in a prayer on your hips or rising high into the air. Feel a strong lower body here engaging through our core. And then let's take it into a side bend towards the opposite side, taking the hand to the hip or the prop and then leaning over. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist it out. Inhale to come back through center. And then step it in or come through a tabletop. To come to our last mountain pose. From here, we're gonna take the feet a little wider than our mat. You want to do it in front of your chair. You're welcome to do that. You can also come in by a wall for this one. We're gonna take our feet as wide as our mat, toes out and heels in. And as we exhale, begin to sink into a deeper squat. So it could be about a half deep, it could be a quarter deep. You could go really deep if that feels good for your body. You could be hovering just slightly off your chair here. Hands could be on your hips, they can be in a prayer, they can be on your legs, you could be holding a prop for support. You're doing great, just another 5, 4, 3, 2, and on the 1, allow yourself to come back into your seated position. Beautiful job. We're gonna come with our heels planted about hip distance apart and lift those toes on up so that you're pulling them back towards the shins. As we inhale, I want us to come into a boat position. If you're seated in the chair, you're gonna bring your hands up to shoulder height and begin to hinge forward until you feel those ab muscles start to knock on and really start to shake maybe a little bit. If you're taking this option from the floor, heels same, but instead of leaning forward, you're just simply gonna lean back. Whichever variation you're taking, you're keeping your abs engaged, your spine is straight. Now, from here, we're gonna lift the right toes and then drop them, and then lift the left foot and then drop it. Take it left to right. Now, if you're feeling really engaged today, you can always take it from the opposite direction, keep the feet lifted, and tap the toes down. All right, you're doing great. One more on each side. And then as we exhale, we'll release. Coming into our last crisscross applesauce seated position. You're seated in the chair, crossing at the ankles. We'll then take that right arm out to the side. And then let's thread the needle, bringing it across the torso, capturing it with the left hand. You can hold here, you can bend the elbow, letting it rest on your shoulder, and grab on the right elbow as well. Great job. Exhale to release that side. Let's take it to the other side. Great job. Exhale to release. We'll go ahead and send our right leg out long. You're seated on the floor. Tuck that left leg right inside the right thigh. If you're in your chair, you're going to actually take it to the out to the left a little, opening it, giving yourself a little more stability. We're going to take our hand down that right leg, lifting our left hand up and over into a side bend. And then with our exhale, we're gonna let that top hand drop as we come into a forward fold over that extended leg. Come back to center. We'll take it to the opposite side. Take that left leg out straight. You're seated on the floor. You're gonna tuck the thigh into your inner thigh. You're in the chair, you're sending it out to the left side, or right side. You're taking that left hand down the left leg or on the floor or a prop, and we're sending that right arm up and over. Really feeling that deep side bend through the rib cage. Maybe each breath allows you to feel the rib cage actually pulling apart a little bit. And then with our exhale, find your forward fold as you drop that right arm down towards your left leg. Inhale to come back to a straight spine. And then let's curl into a ball. Knees come to torso or torso comes towards knees. Chin maybe curls to chest or relaxes on the ground. Maybe take a little sway, a little rock from side to side. Beautiful job. Inhale to roll up to a straight spine. And then let's send our legs out long, send our arms out long. You can either sit up if you're in the chair or recline back. If you're on the floor, you're definitely laying on your back. And let's take it into a crescent moon or a banana pose. So I'll walk the feet over towards the right side of the space. You're always welcome to cross the left ankle over that right one if you'd like. And then either keeping both hands overhead or bringing maybe that right hand down to the chair as you lean towards the right. If you're in the floor, both hands are overhead and maybe the left hand is resting comfortably in the palm of that right hand. Creating a deeper C shape through the side body. Exhale, come through center, taking feet and legs to the opposite side. And then keeping torso where it is, but moving arms to the other side. Making any modifications that you made on the other side if they feel appropriate on this side. Come back through center. Feet come to hip distance apart, knees bent. Either constructive rest or seated mountain. And then let's take a windshield wiper of the knees, letting them go left to right. Left to right. The next time they are on the right side, pause there, taking it into a deeper twist. You can sleep or close your eyes, resting a little bit here. Maybe find that extended breath, taking it more intentionally with each inhale, intentional with each exhale. Feeling free to add any props here or to stack or stagger the knees as appropriate in your body. And then allow yourself to come back through center and over to the other side. As always, your hands can rest on your body, maybe beside you, out to a T or a cactus, or even circle overhead and let the head rest with the elbows out wide. Our last breath here. Slowly as we can, we'll come through center. We'll take any remaining movement our body might need as we find our way into our final resting pose. You're always welcome to add pillows, blankets, a sweater, or socks. Or make any movements so that you can start to come into a position where you can relax on command, where you can find what looks like stillness and rest for you for about the next 10 minutes or so. As we settle in, allow yourself to take up plenty of space, knowing that movement is really up to you. And as you settle in, maybe you close your eyes, maybe you let your eyelids grow heavier. Maybe you allow the corners of your eyes to relax. And you start to unfurl that space in between your eyebrows. Maybe you begin to let your jaw unclench, or you allow your tongue to relax in your mouth. And then see if you can let your entire body follow in complete relaxation as your breath becomes effortless and smooth. As we end today's class, we'll once again reflect on the concepts of danger and opportunity. And we'll let ourselves be inspired by a hike in the woods. Maybe this is a hike in the woods you've taken before, or maybe one you're just imagining here today. But begin to take a few breaths as you settle in. Begin to relax. And let your mind wander back to that hike in the woods. Picturing the towering trees. Maybe it's fall, just like outside, or maybe another time of the year, if you're remembering a past hike. Maybe you see some dappled sunlight. Maybe you notice the sounds of nature that are all around you. See if you can bring to mind the feeling and remember being in a natural environment. Danger and opportunity are two sides of the same coin. In nature, just as in life, we encounter challenges and choices that can lead us to growth or can hold us back. We'll begin to reflect on a moment during a hike, this imaginary one or that past one, when maybe you felt a sense of danger, whether it was crossing a stream, navigating a steep incline, or maybe encountering unfamiliar wildlife, or any other moment that created a little nervousness, a little worry, a little doubt or fear. Think about how your body or mind responds to this feeling of danger or fear. Is there a pit in your stomach? Some sweaty palms? Heart racing? Simply notice how the response is of the body. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow yourself to release any tension or fear associated with that moment. Understand that danger, when approached with mindfulness and respect, can offer us valuable lessons and the opportunity for personal growth. It teaches us to be present, to be cautious, and to trust our intuition. Now we'll begin to think of a moment during that hike when we felt a sense of opportunity, like when we reached a breathtaking view, discovered a wonderfully hidden waterfall, or saw wildlife in its natural environment. See if you can remember the awe and wonder that filled you in those moments. As you breathe in deeply, letting those memories of the opportunity fill you with gratitude or joy. Opportunities in the wilderness remind us to appreciate the beauty and the abundance of the world around us. They teach us to be open to new experience and to embrace the unknown. As we continue to breathe, visualize the balance between danger and opportunity in your own life. Just like in the woods, challenges and beauty exist side by side. Breathing in the wisdom of nature, which teaches us to accept both with grace and equanimity. Now bring your attention back to your breath, feeling the rise and the fall of your chest, the gentle rhythm of your inhales and exhales. Maybe inhale peace and acceptance, and exhale gratitude for the lessons learned from both danger and opportunity. As we come towards the end of our time here together, we can remember that life is a journey through the woods, filled with unknown paths, obstacles, and moments of pure beauty. Just as in our practice, where we find balance and harmony, we may also find balance in our journey through life. As we continue our journey, may we embrace both danger and opportunity, finding growth, wisdom, and beauty in every step. Slowly begin to take the deepest breath of your day so far, as we'll leave the woods and come back into our safe space here today. We'll start to bring our awareness back to our physical body with the deepest breath of our day so far. And when we're ready, we'll wiggle our fingers and toes. We'll gently open our eyes and start to reconnect to the world around you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a great week ahead of you. And in your own time, in your own way, come on up to an upright position facing me. Thank you so much.